Hi guys, what's up? It's Joel Pitt here, back with another video, and in this video it'll be for Love Island 2023 Series 10 Episode 52. I'll leave a link down below to Episode 51. Of course, it's going to be spoilers. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So Abby wanted to pull Scott, but he said, I want to chat to the boys first. Lochan and Mitchell were talking. Scott, Sammy and Tyreek spoke. Ellaby, Abby and Jess spoke. Tyreek and Lochan spoke and they apologised. Well, he apologised about, telling Whitney to shush, and he did it about the wrong way. Tyreek tried speaking to Whitney, but she was like, no, I'm not chatting yet. Mitchell and Scott spoke. They were talking about the Abby situation and how Scott called Mitchell a knobhead. Whitney and Tyreek were talking. She pulled him and they apologised. Zach's hand was on Molly's ear in bed. Tyreek and Ella were under the covers. Ellaby and Mitchell kissed. Whitney and Lochan kissed. And then Abby's hand was on Scott's chest. Abby got a tea made by Scott. He was like, oh, it's not coffee because I can't make coffee. Sammy grabbed Ellaby for a chat. Abby and Scott spoke. They're now just friends. Jess scared the boys in this, cape thing. Abby and Scott spoke again. Molly and Zach talked. Ella and Tyreek and then Whitney and Lochan talked. Ellaby and Mitchell spoke. Sammy and Jess spoke, and then they got a text, basically, gather around the fire pit, and then someone's leaving, because it's the vote from the other episode. So, Ellaby and Mitchell, Molly and Zach, and then Abby and Scott had the least amount of votes. And it wasn't up to the public to decide who leaves, it was down to the Islanders. And they decided Abby and Scott should be the next people to leave. Lochan announced the results. Molly and Zach, Zach was talking and he said, I don't care about the votes. As he said in the hideaway, he's won already. He's found Molly. He doesn't care if they're in the bottom and, they're seeing something different. He knows he's strong. I like that. Ellaby and Mitchell spoke. Jess and Sammy spoke. Then they got another text in the night. I was like, what's going on now? But it was the final dates, but on their date, they have to decide who's the least compatible couple, and then they're at risk. The girls were singing. Mitchell told Lochan, he said, this stays between the boys. I was like, what's going on? And he thinks Ellaby is fake. I was like, really? No, but she came in for Tyreek. Yeah, he was closed up and then moved on to Mitchell. And she, knew that. But, his type's blonde. I mean, he said, I hope I'm not wrong. But, he just thinks it's fake. And she's just here for a long period. Maybe that's why they were in the bottom. I don't know. Mitchell and Ellaby spooned. Whitney and Lochan spooned. And then Zach and Molly kiss. And there's also some other stuff on the Love Island app. So 10 biggest Villa fallouts of the series. Oh, it's kicking off. The Love Island Villa is feeling plenty of romance right now, but there have been a few fallouts on the road to love. We saw some peak tensions erupt last night as the Grafty Awards tapes were rolled. Opinions got heated between Tyreek, Lochan and Whitney, and Mitchell's acceptance speech went all kinds of south with Scott. In addition to last night's drama, let's take a look at some of the summer's most memorable fallouts. Tensions between Scott and Mitchell erupt at the Grafties. This pair had been butting heads throughout an eventful awards ceremony, but it was Mitchell's acceptance speech that went wrong, with Scott labelling Mitchell a knobhead. The heat turned up as they got into a serious argument over their couples again, leaving the villa in shock, and us on a cliffhanger waiting for 9 PM. Tyreek, Lochan and Whitney get heated at the Grafties. Words were thrown as Tyreek called out Lochan on his bro code for too much pillow talk with Whitney. And the bite back was real as Lochan defended himself and Whitney stood up for a man. Tyreek telling Whitney to shush escalated the tension into an argument. And we know there's more to be said tonight before this one calms down. Abby and Mitch again and again. Remember when a loved up Mitchell coupled up with Casa Amor bombshell Abby? No, us neither, as this sweet relationship has turned 100% sour. Since Mitchell's head turned for Ellaby and he caused chaos trying to get clarity, This once happy couple haven't been able to reconcile as friends, throwing shade for days. Whitney pines Zach in Snog, Marry, Pie. One cheeky challenge, so much drama. Whitney pied Zach in Snog, Marry, Pie, saying, "I love his relationship with Molly, but sometimes I do question if it's the easy way out." A confused Zach ended up telling Whitney to shut up, which crossed a line with wit. The two later had it out and managed to accept each other's apologies, but that pie tasted cold for a while. Ella T and Ella B go head to head. In the now Grafty award-winning scene, Ella T came face to face with Ella B to clear a few things up after the bombshell had been flirting with her old flame Tyreek. "All we're saying is, I would never go head to head with a girl for a man," drops Mike. Catherine's Casa Amor bust up with Scott. Neo sent Catherine off to Casa Amor happily coupled up with Scott, but she returned hand in hand with Ellen, leaving Scott alone at the fire pit. The aftermath wasn't pretty, but it wouldn't be Casa Amor without a couple's breakup or two. Speaking of, Tyreek's and Ella T's Casa Amor heartbreak. Their story thankfully has a happy ending, but Tyrella were officially over for a hot minute when closed off Ella T brought back Uzi from Casa Amor. "I guess she was never mine. It was just my turn," Tyreek told Maya after the modelling duo walked in, and the arguments lasted into the next day, and the next, and the next. Oof. Lee and Scott's fallout at movie night. The Casa Amor fallout continued as movie night showed the Islanders what really went down on the big screen. Scott took issue when Leah was vocal about his and Catherine's split. The other Islanders couldn't get the popcorn in fast enough as verbal shots were fired across the garden. Jess hits her limit with Sammy's triangles. This couple are now solid, but by their own admission, Jess and Sammy have had a roller coaster ride. Jess reached her limit after she returned from Casa Amor alone to find Sammy coupled up with Amber. Having previously been getting cozy with Mal, the next day she gave in an ultimatum: "I'm not going to beg for you to choose me. If you don't want me, that's okay, but I'm not being in a triangle no more." Thankfully they figured it out after a Josh-shaped curveball, and the pair are now official. Whitney and Ella are called smug and selfish. More challenge chaos came after the couple's goals challenge, and this time it was Whitney and Ella T that split. After Tyreek and Ella T voted Whitney and Lachlan the most smug couple, Whitney later branded Ella T the most selfish person I've ever met in the dressing room. Cut to a full bestie breakup. We were shook when their day out together made things worse instead of better, but the sister energy came good and all was forgiven the next day. Phew. So as the final nears, and with the last night's Grafty's tea still hot, will Tyreek and Whitney make up? And can Scott, Abby and Mitchell ever call a truce? Well, we'll find out, won't we? Well, and then also, 5 times our Islanders gave us the warm and fuzzies. Our Islanders might be sizzling under the Spanish sun, but they're warming our hearts over here too. The friendships, romances and bromances have kept the good vibes going this summer, and last night meeting the families left us feeling all kinds of emotional. We had Zach's mum being a certified icon, wedding talk from Team Tyrella, Jess's stepdad jumping on the famous beds, Lachlan telling his mum how beautiful she is, Mitchell's mum giving Abby a sweet hug, Molly's dad doing the handshake. Who knew you could fit so much heart swelling into one episode? Let's take a look at when the Islanders have left us feeling all warm and fuzzy inside. The girlies supporting Whitney and Maddie left. Girl Code has been 10 out of 10 this summer, with plenty of hugs, heart-to-heart, and wiping of tears between our girls. The ladies coming together to support Whitney when Maddie was dumped was peak. And as much as we love the romance, we're so here for the power of female friendship too. Jess told an upset Whitney as the ladies gathered, "All I'm going to say is, let it out, because I can see you really holding it in." Whitney's tears spilled over Jess as Jess continued, "You're only going to feel like this temporary, okay? So let it out. Feelings show that you were genuine. We got you back, always and forever, girl." The broski cheers for Tyreek's "I love you" mission. "We're forever obsessed with the Villa bromances, from hair shaving to nap time pranks. These guys have been bringing the lols since day one." But it was the A-team's toast when Tyreek told Zach and Sammy about his plan to tell Ella "I love you" that really warmed our hearts. "Love you, free fam," Zach, as they cheers their glasses to the big plan, with Sammy replying, "Love you boys, here's to love. Today's your day, broski," Zach told Tyreek. Montel's terrorist speech to Leah. Montel had some making up to do after a Casa Amor when he strayed from loyal Leah. After movie night showed the Islanders the full story, Montel decided that only a grand gesture would show how much he cared for lovely Leah. So he took himself to the terrace to apologise in front of the villa, giving us Romeo and Juliet. As he told a shocked Leah, "Obviously I embarrassed you, so it's only right I embarrass myself as well. You of all people don't deserve to get treated like an option or have your feelings hurt in the way that I have. Every morning waking up next to you, I can't help but smile." Leah held back a few tears as the Islanders cheers and the pair were happily reunited. Tyreek declares his love for Ella T. We'll let the speech do the talking here because it was too cute to see Tyreek getting all shy as he declared his love. "Our journey together started on the first day," he told Ella as he sat on the beanbags at the front of the villa surrounded by rose petals and fairy lights. "The last thing I expected was to find someone that I genuinely had a connection with. I'm literally so glad. It's not been proper easy, but nothing that's worth it comes easy. I feel like we got through every single hurdle and every single test, and we're still here together strong. I didn't even know I was capable of having these feelings. I just can't wait to have our futures together. I wanted to say to you that I do love you." Who doesn't love love? Sammy asking Jess to be his girlfriend. The secret missions keep on coming and we love to see it. Sammy asked his boy Tyreek to sneak the Islanders up to the terrace, while Sammy brought Jess to the middle of an empty garden. In true Jammy style, she thought he was playing a joke, asking him, "You're not gonna chuck me in the pool, are you?" Just be serious for one moment," he laughed before telling her, "Since coming in here, it's not been the easiest ride. We've had a roller coaster of a journey, but I feel like I've matured a lot. I don't get feelings easy. It's a big thing for me. I feel like I know you inside and out, and I really like how things are going. And just with all of that, I just want to say," at which point Sammy turned to the terrace and shouted, "Can you help me out, guys?" The Islanders sprung into action, jumping from their hiding spot to shout, "Will you be his girlfriend?" We were full cheering at the TV as Jess screamed an instant yes. The all-seeing, all-knowing terrace strikes again. Are there more warm and fuzzies in store for us this week? We'll find out in tonight's episode and this week as well. But anyway, that is all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you in the next one.